Social strategy for radio stations. My name is Vanessa Markov with SoCast Inc. If you have any issues hearing me or seeing the screen properly, please send us a message via the chat window in your GoToMeeting control panel. So what we're going to cover today is we're going to overview the key drivers of a successful social strategy, and we're also going to show you some advanced tips and optimization tactics that you can try right away and actually start to see results right away. At the end, we'll do a short Q&A to answer any of your questions. So first off, why social? Well, wouldn't it be nice if your station could double your web traffic, significantly increase your membership database, such as your loyalty club and your email list, increase digital and on-air tuning, and even make more money, almost entirely through Facebook? This and the next graph I'm about to show you are from Tech Survey 9 by Jacobs Media, and Jacobs is actually going to be presenting Tech Survey 10 in a couple of hours at the Worldwide Radio Summit in Hollywood today. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of data they'll come up with over the last year. So what this graph is showing is that the majority of your listeners are reachable through social media, and mainly in Facebook. So being present in Facebook, you're actually able to market your brand and share content that brings people back to your site and your station. And this goes for all age groups. Pretty much everybody in every age group is in social media. There's very little variation. So it doesn't really matter what your format is these days. You can reach your target demographic on Facebook. So how do we get there? Well, we're going to start off with the basics. This is pretty much marketing 101, but it's an often overlooked step when using social media for marketing purposes, and that's defining a clear objective. Without a really clear objective and a path for how to get there from the beginning, it's going to be really hard to analyze your results. You might not get any results, or you might not know what kind of results you're actually looking for. Here's a really basic example. Your objective here would be to increase tune-ins, which is the main goal of most radio stations. And you're going to get there by promoting the stream and on-air content while also building your audience and loyalty club with contests so that you can grow that audience and promote more content to them. Again, this is a very, very basic outline. Second thing you need is a content strategy. And your content should basically consist of tactics that adhere to both your target audience and your overall objective. I should also note that the demographic and psychographic information that you'll be collecting through social media marketing will help you optimize your strategy as you build more data. So again, here's a very basic example of a content strategy, and by sticking to this kind of a formula, you're going to definitely get better results faster. The next thing you need to do is you need to know what exactly you're measuring. Be careful not to get caught up in vanity metrics, things like likes and site hits. Yes, obviously these numbers do mean something. They matter to an extent, but it doesn't really mean much if those people, those hits, those likes, if they're not actually helping you reach your goals and if they're not engaging with your content. So good social KPIs to track would include your overall reach, which actually indicates that people are sharing your content. So here we have an example from Classic Rock 101. Have a fairly sizable audience, but they have hundreds of thousands more people talking about them, which means that people in their audience are sharing their content, and then people in their networks are sharing content out pretty much in a viral way. And what's happening there when you have such high numbers, people talking about the content, consuming it, and sharing it are definitely going to feed back into this audience and grow it. And of course, it's also important to know how people actually feel about your brand. Is their engagement positive, negative, or neutral? And it's important to also look at different ways that you can increase the positive sentiment on your brand and content, because we've basically seen that this data leads to more important numbers like an increase in listenership and hours tuned. Next, it's really important to monitor social activity in real time. Otherwise, you're probably going to miss out on growing conversations and trending topics where you would be able to maximize your engagement and reach. So a good monitoring tool will allow you to track several things, such as the reach and sentiment of keywords, your own social streams where you can also interact with people right away, the way people are interacting with your station and content, all combined into one stream, and also different ideas from popular RSS feeds where you can grab content ideas on the go and be able to see all of this data in one screen. Finally, you're going to need analytics to track exactly what content is working and what isn't. You should know things like which links are being clicked on, which station staff are performing best, so you can get ideas and help train the other staff members. It's important to know what time of day your audience consumes the most content. And it's also important to know exactly how well each post is doing. By tracking all of this information, you can make educated adjustments to your content and your strategy. So now we're going to cover 3 optimization tactics that are proven to increase engagement. First would be optimized content. Statistics are saying that images, questions, clear calls to action, short, sweet, and simple statuses are most likely to be the most engaging posts than any other type of post you can put out. In fact, using images and questions is actually known to double engagement in Facebook. I should also mention that about a month ago, Facebook announced another change to their algorithm, which makes text-only posts from brand pages even less visible in the news feed. So given that your organic reach is already about 1 to 3% of your audience, having too many text-based posts or text-only posts could render your page virtually invisible. So we're going to show you a couple of examples of how you can get around these issues. So here are 2 really good examples of how to optimize your content in Facebook, and they're very small alterations that actually make a really big difference. On the left here, you have a question that was asked by a radio station, and what they did was they added an image, a fun type of image, to increase how shareable that content actually is. Otherwise, if it was just a question, you probably wouldn't have had hundreds of people sharing it. So by adding that image, having people share it actually led to getting more comments in the end for that question. On the right, what you have is basically a text post that was converted into an image, and this automatically helps increase the engagement and the shareability of that post, where hundreds of people liked and shared it. So next is optimized contests. Obviously, there's lots of contests happening in radio, but where exactly are they? First off, an optimized contest should be accessible on Facebook. If stats say a third of your audience is most likely on your page in order to participate in contests, then you should just give them what they want. Even the forms themselves, the entry forms, are user-friendly because they're auto-filled by the information in your Facebook profile. Optimized contests are also accessible on your website, so users can sign up wherever they find you online. And this isn't just linking one contest to a certain landing page. It's actually having the contest live in different places where they're completely syndicated, and all of the entries shown, regardless of which platform they're coming from, are being shown all in one place. Finally, optimized contests are also fan-gated and incentivized. And fan-gating is a little bit of a controversial topic. A lot of people aren't sure how relevant those likes are and what happens with drop-off. But basically, the opportunity here is that you're increasing your audience size, and for those that stick around, you have an opportunity to really engage them with content and convert them into loyal fans. Voting and sharing is another great way to drive engagement and reach for obvious reasons. And you can also go as far as fan-gating voting, which will significantly increase your audience size because everybody who votes on a particular entrant will have to like the page in order to do so. So here's a really quick example of a radio station that ran a fully optimized Facebook contest that was actually perfectly suited to their audience. So their objective and their strategy here was really sound. The contest was also fan-gated for entry and voting, which is why the increase in audience was so large. You can also see that before the contest, engagement on the average post was pretty low, but during the contest, those numbers jumped very, very significantly. The third and final tactic we're going to talk about is to optimize your advertising, and this is where radio stations have to start thinking like agencies. Being a media company yourself means you probably don't often think about purchasing advertising to extend the reach of your content. But Facebook is making it increasingly difficult for brands to reach their audiences organically. Actually, by the end of the year, the organic reach of your posts are probably going to be less than 1%, which is making it crucial to incorporate paid media into your plan once you've matured your content strategy. And the reason why I say once you've matured your content strategy is because you don't want to be blowing your budget while you're still trying to figure out what's working for your audience. So here are a couple of different ways to use paid media to help meet your objectives. You can boost popular posts, you can promote events and contests, and you can even supplement existing campaigns with ads. We're going to go a little more in depth with buying media, and specifically in Facebook, because there's a lot of information about it, and it can get really confusing. There are so many options in Facebook alone, they're constantly changing. You have promoted posts, advanced targeting, marketplace ads, sponsored stories, and boosted posts. So how do you know which type of ad to use and when? Luckily, Facebook is trying to make things easier on you by actually asking you in their ad manager to identify the objective of your ad, and then it'll match it to the right ad type. So when you go into Facebook ads, this is the first thing you're going to see when you go to post an ad. So for the purpose of this webinar, we're only going to cover the top 4 because they're the most relevant forms of advertising that you would use for your station. Increase post engagement, page likes, increase traffic to your website, and also convert people on specific landing pages on your website. So first, advertising a particular post to increase engagement is called boosting a post. A boosted post appears higher in your news feed and reaches more people in your audience and outside of your audience. You can access this type of ad on the actual post itself, which you'll see right here in the corner. And it leads to a very straightforward pop-up screen in order to complete this transaction pretty much in a couple of clicks. And what's really handy about this, aside from the targeting and picking your budget, is that it'll show you right away what the guaranteed range of reach will be. So you can see right away that your results are going to skyrocket as soon as you boost a post. It's not really a guessing game. Next, you can promote your page if what you want to do is increase page likes. These ads appear both in the newsfeed sidebar and as sponsored stories within your actual newsfeed, which you can see on the screen here. And the way a sponsored story works is it takes advantage of the data in your network. And if one of your friends likes a page, then an ad such as this would come up on the screen. You can promote your page directly through your page's admin panel or through the Facebook ad server. You can see here, this would be your admin panel, and this page would pop up here. And these are pretty much all of the same options that you have for boosting a post. It's just a little bit more detailed through this screen here. Now, if you simply want to drive traffic back to your site, you would create an ad much like a promoted page, but it actually links to an external site, whichever link you give it. And the real value of advertising on Facebook as opposed to Google is that here you're able to target ads to your desired audience, right down to specific interests. And we'll get back to targeting in just a minute. Finally, with Facebook ads, a conversion ad is pretty much exactly the same as a website ad, but it has a brand new feature added to it called a call to action button. And these are the options that you have here. So what they do is they drive specific types of conversion, whether it be to sign up for, download something, get more information, book something, or even shop. So now that you know the function of each type of ad, when should you use them? There's really no set in stone rule when you should use any of these different types of ads, but there are some guidelines to follow in order to maximize your budget. Facebook ads are pretty cheap, but if you overuse them or don't use them in the right way, it can get pretty pricey pretty quickly. For instance, if you're continuously boosting posts and all of your posts, the majority of them, you're going to get your budget's going to go up pretty quickly. And you're going to spend quite a bit of money on that. You're not going to get the kind of engagement you would if you were carefully boosting posts that are already generating engagement organically. So here you can see on the screen just a typical example of when and why you should boost a particular post. So here, these two posts, 2 and 3, have pretty average engagement. You can see that their reach and their decline is very similar. But post 1 started to increase in reach at a different and faster rate than the other posts. So what you should do is when you identify that, boost the post, and your reach will skyrocket instantly. You can also reserve your budget for for boosting posts if you want to promote a particular promotion or event beyond your existing audience. It's particularly useful when your audience is still small and growing. So promoting your page has one main purpose, and that's to generate more likes on your page. You can, just like any other, promote your page anytime, but again, it gets expensive if you're constantly buying ads to build your audience. So the best time to run this type of ad would be shortly before a major contest or promotion, which is what we were showing you here. This way you can advertise the actual promotion in the ad itself, and you're incentivizing people to like your page by letting them know that if they like your page, they'll have access to this upcoming or currently running contest. The same logic applies to driving traffic to your website. You should save this type of ad for times when traffic matters most, such as during a large promotion or to drive more impressions and clicks for your sponsors. But whatever you do, don't link your ad to your home page. Use your ads to drive people to specific landing pages. Also, make sure you use those call to action buttons whenever you can, because they're only going to help drive conversions. So going back to targeting, here are some of the options that you have in Facebook, regardless of the ad type that you're using. And this here is the real beauty of Facebook ads and Facebook in general, because they know a lot about their users and they let you segment their population according to your specific needs. You can use this advanced targeting to drive real results, not only for your station brand, but on behalf of your sponsors as well. For example, let's say you have a golf sponsor and you're running a promotion on their behalf. What you can do in this screen here is you can target people in your geographical area, your sponsor's geographical area, who are, for example, males aged 30 to 65 who like golf and who also make over 100K. That's a very basic example, but pretty much it tells you that this way you're not only bringing more people in through the use of the ads, but you're bringing really valuable leads to your sponsors. So basically the investment that you're making is negligible for the types of results that you're able to give back to your sponsors. So that's all we have for today. Here are the key points we covered. First and most importantly is don't skip steps. Start with a basic objective and lay out a strategic plan. Second, you need to get all the tools that you need to drive data and insights to make sure that your content is completely and fully optimized. And third, use Facebook statistics, contests, and paid media to really optimize your results. If anyone would like to know more about how we can help you achieve these above three objectives, my contact info will be up on the screen shortly. Just quickly, here are some of our clients. And now if anybody has any questions, we'll leave it open for a couple of minutes to answer. And my info is also up on the screen if anybody would like to get in touch with me directly. All right, so it doesn't look like we have any questions coming through that I can answer for you. So I'm going to leave up the screen a little bit longer in case anybody needs to take down my information. A recording of the webinar will be emailed out to everyone so that you'll have access to the deck and the information that we shared today. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll see you soon.